everyone, welcome back to our eighth episode of season two, exercise and nutrition.
Just to like preface, you guys can obviously see we're on Zoom today. We had some issues filming our regular content, so just for today, we're gonna be on Zoom. Yeah, I think that's really sad. And just to preface, we are the Kois. I'm Nidya.
I'm Melissa.
And I'm Anvita. And today's episode, we're going to be talking about exercise and the impact it has on mental health and how nutrition plays into that.
Yes. So like to start us off, we can talk about how like exercise affects our body. I know like everyone says like exercise is like good for you, but like what does that really entail? Do you guys know?
I think it plays a huge role in like your mental state. I feel like happy body, happy mind, and it's like you just get more pumped for the day. You're not in like this grouchy mood all the time.
Yeah, the grouchy mood especially. I think it really like reduces symptoms of like depression and anxiety, which I think is like a
Yeah,
really obviously that's gonna help a lot of people. And I think it just like overall improves your mood. Yeah.
it's a
But
very
also,
common occurrence. Sorry, yeah,
no, go ahead.
it's a very like common occurrence of anxiety and depression, and I think exercise is like another way of like it's an alternative to antidepressants now.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
exercise is really like overrated. Like people understand that, oh, it's important to exercise to stay fit or whatever, but there's a lot of additional benefits that people don't realize of doing exercise other than staying fit. For example, a huge one that people don't think of is exercise is really good for improving someone's sleep. Like obviously, if you work out during the day, you kind of become more tired, and that improves your sleep later on at night. Like I know,
Yeah.
like a lot of people with sleep apnea, um, if they do exercise during the day, or like do like a 15-minute workout, like HIIT intensive, they sleep better at night and they have less problems without using
And
their machine.
sleep is obviously better for your mental health too. We talked about that in our previous episode, right?
Sleep has a lot of benefits. It improves cognitive functions, like helps someone like retain memories sharper throughout the day. Like for example, if someone says, if you have a test the next day, people tell you to sleep well. That's because like sleep helps people have sharper memories and help you concentrate and feel like
Hmm.
mentally sharp for the task for the following day. And
Yeah,
like,
like following
Yeah.
that. Sorry, go
mm,
ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And exercise, I was just saying, like exercise is how you can improve sleep. Like a lot of people take
Yeah.
like melatonin and stuff like that, right? But rather than taking those like vitamins, which
Hmm.
may be good in the short term run, it's like obviously better to rely on something more natural.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
like what I was gonna say is that like also like exercise, it just makes you feel more energetic. Like you get more sleep, you're more like pumped for the day, which obviously helps your mental health. It also like affects like how you like work, like you probably have a better quality of life that day. And it just like helps you. You're more relaxed about like your life and yourself.
But what are some like negative effects of exercising, do you think? Like obviously, like as we talked about, sleep is very important. So like if you don't exercise, you won't get as much sleep, which will obviously affect the next day. But like what are some other like side effects do you guys think?
I think like you were saying like the sleep, right? I think that would like
Hmm.
cause a lack of energy and a lot of mood swings. Like I know like sometimes when I literally just rot in bed and then I don't get enough sleep, I am like so grouchy the next day. I think that's like a normal
Yeah.
feeling. Versus if you get a good night's sleep, if you like are like working your body, like you feel better.
Yeah. I also
Yeah,
think like you can avoid like yeah, go ahead, Alyssa.
no, no, no.
Okay, I was saying like it could help avoid like future diseases that may come up, especially in like older people, not like stereotyping them, but like yeah, if you get the gist.
Yeah, yeah.
And obviously there's the obvious ones of like body health deteriorating, not staying fit, not maintaining that like burning off the like some of the fat and calorie intake that people intake and obviously, right? And obviously, as Nitya was saying, with the poor mood, you're gonna have like lack of energy, more mood swings. I mean, as you brought up earlier, you're gonna feel more anxious, more depressed throughout the day, right? And actually, I heard something that I read this article that shout out my cousin sent to me actually. Um, if you drink a lot of sweet beverages with a lot of sugar and glucose, you can actually develop an unhealthy liver, the same as an alcoholic. So you're not supposed to like drink a lot of unhealthy drinks and unhealthy sugar, which goes back and which we'll talk about later in our nutrition part of the episode. But like that sugar, that glucose is really bad for your body and actually deteriorates your liver health. And by exercising that glucose off, you can kind of like maintain health, which I realized was shocking to me because she was late said, Alyssa, if you do not stop your big back activities, you're gonna have the liver of an alcoholic. So
Oh,
now I know that like not only do you need to cut off like some like unhealthy nutritional intake that you're doing throughout the day, you know, so you exercise that glucose and all the additional sugar off.
According to the
So like be
internet,
aware from glucose.
Diet Coke does not contain real sugar, guys. I'm safe. I'm safe.
Yes, Nithya's safe. So the bad sugar that may be in Diet Coke is both bad for your body and your mental health. But we can have an opposite parallel to that by saying that exercise benefits your body and your mental health. And one of the ways it does this is by releasing endorphins, which are your body's natural mood boosters. And as we talked about before, exercise really does help lift your mood up and help you be more active in the day.
Yeah, I think like also like you're talking about like exercise like benefits like the release of endorphins, right? And like what really happens, the science behind it is that the endorphins they react with receptors in the brain that basically just reduce pain perception. And obviously like it triggers a positive feeling in the body. And like some people say it's like similar to that of morphine actually. So like obviously we were saying earlier, this like all goes into the fact that like exercise just lifts people's mood up.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a study done by James Bluthemel from the University of Wisconsin, which basically compared the effects of exercise to antidepressant medication in patients with major depressive disorder. And essentially, he found that exercise was just as effective as medication in reducing symptoms of depression after 16 weeks. So, like, a whole synopsis of basically what we've been saying is how exercise really benefits mental health and how it's often really overlooked of like how it actually benefits one's like mood and like again mental health rather than just physical health too.
Yeah, I totally agree. I feel like every time we think about exercise and its positive effects, we always think about how it like what it does to like the way you look, not the way you feel. But I think it's really important to take your feeling and your mental state into consideration as well.
You know when you're like feeling like really like depressed or like really anxious and people like recommend, oh, just go for a walk, like just spend like 15 minutes outside for a walk, or like some people go for a drive, like that fresh air. Not only is like the fresh air really calming, but like just the action of going for a walk or like going biking, whatever, can reduce like depressive thoughts or help people prevent people from relapsing back into depressive thoughts.
Essentially, what we were saying about like walking when you want to clear your head or like doing that sort of exercise. There was a study done by Harvard T.H. Chan School of Public Health, which found that running for 15 minutes a day or walking for an hour reduces the risk of depression by 26%. Which, if you think about it, that's almost 1/3. So,
Yeah.
So, like for us as students who go through a lot of stress, who go through a lot of like anxiety, like I have to do schoolwork or tests like that. If like walking a day and like or like doing some sort of exercise, like even 15 minutes a day or 10 minutes a day really, really helps.
I think that this study, sorry, I think that the study like also kind of proves like you know how like teachers or not teachers but like most people they say like if you're glued to like an electronic device you have to like take a break from it, go out, get fresh air. Like it's for a reason, and I think like it helps prevent things like depression and anxiety, and the study just really proves that.
The whole thing with like the quarantine and like the pandemic, right, where we had to stay at
Yeah.
home so long, it was so hard to exercise, right? I mean, like I picked up biking during that time, but like the first few months when you didn't really know what was happening, and it was just like when we started taking a break from school, like a lot of people didn't go out and exercise because everything was closed down, right? I feel like a lot of people like they started becoming so socially isolated.
Yeah.
And as we started moving back into like normal day life and like getting back into that daily habit or like daily routine of going on a walk or whatever, right? Like being outside, it really helps decrease like those feelings of social isolation, things like that.
Yeah, I think like also like a lot of people say like how like our generation Gen Z is like a lot of people have more anxiety or depression just in general, partly because of the pandemic, partly because of like overuse of electronics. But I think also because like a lot of people stopped exercising, especially in the pandemic. Like you couldn't basically.
Mm-hmm.
And like I know earlier we were talking about like the importance of a walk. I was just like thinking like also like obviously it helps your physical mental health, but like it really just helps you like get a clear sense of mind too. Because like as we were saying, like you're more relaxed when you exercise, right? Like you're more relaxed, like think about your like life or like think about decisions you needed to make. Like that's why people are like, oh, get like you were saying, Anvita, like get like fresh air, like before you think about something.
Yeah.
We were also talking about with like how Nitya talking about anxiety, how exercise will help with that. We talked about this a little bit in the beginning of the episode of how anxiety helps improve cognitive functions and like just how the brain processes things, right? Because when people exercise, that increases that increased physical activity promotes brain plasticity, which is basically the brain's ability to kind of adapt and change.
Yeah, this is similar to like what Nithya was saying earlier about like making these decisions. Like your brain is allowing you to like adapt and change and like create more connections in the brain itself and also like just grow,
Exactly,
because
yeah.
you're changing. Yeah.
And like you're saying, like new decisions, right? Like it creates basically new neural networks, and like it obviously promotes neural growth, and like also like I think physical health. It does like reduce inflammation,
Inflammation.
inflammation.
Inflammation of the brain.
Yeah, and like obviously
Oh.
promotes feeling of like calm and well-being about like their activity patterns, and just like overall, exercising can do so much for your physical and mental health, which I think a
Yeah.
lot of people focus on the physical, but it's like your mental health is like pretty like affected too, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking earlier about how exercise kind of helps release endorphins, which are the body's natural mood lifters. Exercise actually also helps increase the release of dopamine, norepinephrine, serotonin. These are all neurotransmitters that help affect focus and attention. So, for example, those with ADHD or PTSD or trauma, exercise works in the same way as kind of like these medications such as Adderall that helps people kind of focus more. And it helps your nervous system become less anxious and less triggered. And they basically, for those people with PTSD or trauma, it helps them move out of the stress response that locks them in and like characterizes the trauma, like triggering feelings that makes them go into like panic attacks or like anxiety attacks and stuff like that.
I feel like
Mhm.
another aspect of that, like not really like mental like diseases, problems, it can also just like a regular like everyday type of problem like stress, like it also affects stress. Like physical activity definitely like reduces the level of stress hormones, which is like adrenaline and cortisol, sorry. And like along with that, it like stimulates the production of endorphins, like Alyssa, you talked about this earlier. And like it's just really cool to see like how much exercise really like affects the chemicals in your body.
In ways that like we didn't really think about earlier, which I think
Exactly.
is really cool. And you were saying like how exercise affects like everyday things that we do. It's another everyday thing that we have to do. It's like a total must is sleep, guys.
Yeah, definitely.
And so earlier we were talking about how poor sleep like leads to mental health issues, and better sleep has like a positive effect on mood and energy levels, just like we talked about earlier. So not only does exercise affect how much sleep you get, but also like the quality of the sleep that you get. A lot of times, like we see in like movies or just like maybe even someone you're related to, or friends actually, some people like take medications to sleep.
Yeah.
For example, Michael Phelps has been open with his struggles with depression, and he talked about how his swimming, which is a form of exercise, has been a crucial part in his mental health and improving the quality of his mental health. So yeah.
Wait, so like for me, Anita was talking about how exercise, and Anita and Nancy were talking about how Michael Phelps, like his training regimen and that exercise really helped him with like depression, right? Or like in his sleep. But yeah, didn't we also have like at school, didn't we also have like this assembly that was for when we were young, when we were like freshmen or something, of like how sleep helps so much. And she talked about how like a lot of these different basketball athletes would take these like naps or whatever to kind of recharge and like whatever, right? And
Yeah.
at that point in time, I was exercising a lot, right? And then I took a break from doing water polo or whatever, right? And I started eating a lot of like unhealthy foods and not doing exercise. And during that time, I would be so groggy during the day. I don't know if you guys ever felt that like feeling when you're like either you're like in bed like on your phone or whatever for like a long period of time, or you're eating so much junk food throughout the day. You just feel really groggy and like tired and like
Useless, depressed,
sluggish. Yeah,
bad.
and like this just goes to show like we talk about how exercise helps a lot, right? Too, but a huge factor of like how you go about your daily life and your mental health, right, is also nutrition. And I feel like we also need to talk about how kind of nutrition plays into how we feel and stuff like that.
Yeah, like definitely. I think like for me, like when I do eat, it's just I eat such junk. Like there are times in my life where like I'm literally depressed. Like I just want ramen. I want to eat Cheetos. I'm done with school. I don't want a salad in front of me. But then
Facts.
it became a very big habit, and then it added up obviously. And I used to get headaches all the goddamn time. I used to
Yeah.
literally sleep all the time. I literally my mental health, my physical health was just not good. It was not good.
You're in this like disgusting cycle of eat, sleep, work, eat, sleep,
Exactly.
work.
Yeah.
And like what you're eating, like if it's unhealthy, if you're working and you're not moving your body enough, unhealthy. And then that affects the last step, sleep. And then you become this unhealthy all around person, which is just so bad mentally and physically.
I think like it also like affects how you work in life. I think like if you don't like exercise enough, you're not getting really good enough sleep, and like obviously we're talking about nutrition, right? Like if you're not eating well, like you're obviously gonna be in
Hmm.
a bad mood. You may be sick, like if it goes that far, and it's just gonna affect other aspects of your life.
I remember
Yeah.
when I was studying for APs, like when we were studying for APs, all three of us actually, we would like be living in the library, okay? And
Oh my
I went to the library during the weekdays too. I would be literally eating like a boba and ramen every day for like 2 weeks.
I remember how stressed we were. We literally DoorDashed food. Like,
Wait, yeah. First of all, the money I spent on that food. Anyway, but like the sugar, like the boba and the ramen and all that like MSG and sugar I'll be eating every day. And I would just go home and I'd like pass out on the floor, like so groggy. And I'd wake up feeling horrible. And it was just like horrible for like Nikki was saying, mental health, physical health, and everything. Like all that like unhealthy diet that I had like those weeks.
Mm.
And it didn't help my stress at all. I was still stressed with APs. So it wasn't helping anyway. It was just like I was like I
A
tricked
coping
myself into thinking that
mechanism.
would help.
A coping mechanism.
Yeah.
like I think it's literally just because our brains are wired because like we were saying, like it associates food with reward. Like that's literally it. Or like literally pleasure. Because like during these times of studying for APs, obviously none of us are happy. Food is the only thing that makes you happy these days. Like I was literally dreaming of that bag of Cheetos that are in front of me right now, except they're finished. It is an empty bag of Cheetos. That's literally in front of me. It's heartbreaking. But I think on the subject of like Cheetos, like I remember like reading something about like this girl who ate a bunch of Takis and it literally burned a hole through her like something in her
Oh
organ.
yeah.
I was scared the living like it scared me so much. Like it just goes to show like
Yeah.
junk food is
My
not good for
sister
you.
had that actually. Basically, when you eat a lot of spicy foods and you eat a lot of spicy foods, you can burn a hole through your gastrointestinal lining, and that's
My
like
mom had that.
that lining. But
911 had to come. It got pretty bad.
wait, yeah, that lining actually helps your stomach prevent your stomach lining from the acid that your stomach makes to break down proteins. And so if you're eating from spicy food and you burn a hole through your stomach, one is gonna be really really painful, but two is like the acid will eat at your stomach lining, which is really scary.
Yeah.
And so my sister can't eat spicy food like rarely anymore.
My mom.
Really? Well, that's
Yeah.
actually my greatest fear.
Or get a hole in your gastrointestinal lining.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very scary.
I feel like is it like really likely or like is it kind of rare?
You can eat a lot of spicy foods.
Mm.
So like if you eat like Takis like every day, or my sister would like only eat spicy foods. Like she would put every spicy in everything. And if you have a sensitive stomach, it really helps. And now like she has a lot of stomach problems. Like she gets really not like nauseous and stuff like that. She has to eat a lot of Tums because of like her stomach has been eaten away by the acid that it produces.
Sometimes like when we go out to eat, like my mom, like she like barely eats anything because like she's so scared like something's gonna happen. And like one time we were on vacation and we had to eat something because we were starving. And it didn't end well and we had to go to the hospital and like it's such a scary thing to happen.
Yeah.
So obviously like eat healthy, guys. Like bad things can happen.
Yeah, I think like things you wouldn't really expect, especially because I think like being a teenager, obviously like eating junk food is really normal. Like, but there was like an extreme, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we talk about like some of the things that are important in our diet?
I think like you're talking about Adita, you're talking about like foods that we really need in our diet, right? Obviously,
Yeah,
I would
yeah,
say
yeah.
omega-3 fatty acids. It's really funny because like my dad, who's gonna listen to this and laugh at me, if like you go downstairs to his room, he has a whole desk collection of goddamn vitamins. Okay, I can't even count how many vitamins he takes every night, but these are one of them. There's like fish oil. There's I don't even know. Okay, but it's a whole collection. I'm terrified personally. But like going back to omega-3 fatty acids, though, yeah. Obviously those are like really important for your like nutrition because you know they're good on your brain health. And like obviously I was talking about fish oil earlier, like they're found in fish and like flax seeds and like walnuts, and they're like just obviously helps your brain health, helps your brain function, and also a reduced risk of depression. Like you can really see how like all of these exercise, nutrition, they all like lead to like lower risks of like lower symptoms of depression or anxiety.
No one knows so happy when I eat sushi. Anyway, no way. Back to my main point. But yeah, my mom, my whole family actually, but especially my mom especially, she always reiterates the importance of eating fish. So we have fish a lot. We have a lot of salmon because how good it is. Like before important tests, she would like make salmon, like bake a salmon or whatever, right? And like I honestly think it helps because like we just do it so often. Like I feel like it's so common for people to know that fish is healthy, but people don't do it enough, right? So
Yeah.
That's
I
why
feel like
talk-
as a vegetarian, sorry.
No, I was actually gonna talk about the exact thing. I feel like that's why a lot of people who are meat eaters, I feel like they like think they're healthier, I think, because meat like has a lot of these vitamins. But go ahead.
Yeah, also like meat like has a lot of protein and then the fish obviously helping with the omega-3 fatty acid supplying, thing. So I feel like as a vegetarian, someone who doesn't consume fish or meat, we always have to like rely on like vitamins and gummies to like do this for us. Which is obviously an alternative if you guys are vegetarian, my fellow vegetarians. Um, but yeah, there are some downsides to that, of course.
Wait, my mom's also vegetarian. Wait, most of the time, like she's vegetarian, right? But she eats a lot of nuts, like walnuts. As Nithya was saying earlier.
Oh yeah, we do too.
Yeah, omega-3 found like walnuts and flax seeds, right? She eats a lot of those. My grandma, she's like in her 80s, whatever, right? She's so smart, and her breakfast like sunflower seeds, flax seeds. She eats so many nuts a day. She eats a lot of
Literally
fish, right?
Literally my dad every day. It's an oatmeal with like every walnuts, every single type of seed. I'm like,
yeah, she eats a lot of fish and like a lot of different fish. She's so smart and so well educated. Like she reads a lot too, and like she reads like 800-page books in like 2 days. Okay, and she like retains that knowledge, and I'm actually really impressed because like if I was past 80, I'd be sleeping all day. But she goes on a walk every day in the morning. She has a very healthy routine.
my family.
She like wakes up at like 8 o'clock, goes on a 10 to 15 minute walk around like her neighborhood, goes home, eats sunflower seeds or flax seeds or nuts, whatever, and she lives such a healthy lifestyle. And she's like so happy. And like that's the like lifestyle I aspire to have when I'm older. But with my diet right now, I don't think so. Anyway.
Growing up, I was always forced to have like 5 almonds a day. Or like I hated
They would like put it in water and like
and then you have to do it every morning.
did you like ever have to eat sprouts?
Yes, that's my dinner.
A bowl of sprouts.
That's my dinner.
Someone's getting her nutrition in today. So we were talking about like how like obviously I think like for us, at least me speaking, I obviously don't eat flax seeds or walnuts. And all I eat, like I would say the only protein I eat, I like really love chicken. I can eat chicken all day long. But
She really loves chicken.
you will never understand. You will never understand.
Down from the south. Hand cut chicken.
Anyway, I would say like that's why I think like you were saying your like grandma is like really healthy and stuff. I feel like I aspire to be that, but I'm just not. For some reason, junk food it's all that attracts me.
Nithya, Wingstop, that is so good, but so unhealthy. Let me tell you, like, I delude myself by saying it's protein or whatever.
Bro, Wingstop looks really good. I cannot lie. When they dip it in the ranch, oh.
And I feel like at this age, like no one really knows like what the balance is between these foods. Like I see good food, I'm gonna eat it. I'm not really looking at like
Seafood diet.
omega-3 fatty acids. I'm not really looking at it.
Joke? Did you get my joke?
What'd you say?
The seafood diet.
Seafood. Oh my god, that was good. That was good. I also did not get it. I also did not get it.
You seafood and you eat it?
SEE. Food?
Oh.
Like seafood. Yeah. Okay. She ruined it. Ruined it. Anyway, it's like I remember when I was younger and obviously like I didn't really have control over my diet because I'm a little kid. I can't just like hop to the grocery store or like eat with my friends. I was so much more fit, bro. I used to like walk on like I used to live in Cupertino and I don't know why I did that, but there used to be this really big bridge. I used to walk on it with my dad like literally every day. We used to go like on like really long trails and then I don't know what happened. I can't get out of bed these days.
What a rough
That's so
life.
weird. Wait,
Yeah, I like maybe you're different, but we all live the same life.
Wait, I genuinely think that my mom's like really healthy. She's really into health. Like I wouldn't call her an almond mom because she's not that extreme. Like she likes eating ice cream, whatever, right? But she's like very focuses on a lot of health, especially by food, right? Because like in Eastern medicine, it's all about like your nutrition, like whatever, right? And she's a big. And so I think like if my mom didn't, I'm really grateful that my mom like cooks the meals that she does. If she didn't, my diet would be so much different. Like when I was having boba and ramen, like 2 weeks, 24/7, I would still go home and have like a healthy like diet with like fish or like nuts or salad, or, like some sort of greens that I think were really beneficial. As to if I didn't have that, I'd be literally slumping around at school, like depressed, tired.
Like you already are, like you.
No, but even more, but even more to a different extent. Like I wouldn't be able to wake up. It'd be so horrible.
Yeah, definitely. I think like also like AP season, right? Like when we're like literally downing like ramen and everything. I think that's like you're saying like obviously at home you get more like nutrition, right? Because obviously your parents aren't serving you like really, really bad food. But I think like really because like junior year, at least for like me, I was like so stressed. And when we went to the library to study, I didn't get lunch out. I didn't get breakfast at home, you know? Like all of these meals were kind of taken away, which I think like worsened my mental and physical health.
Yeah, for sure. I think like eating unnecessary junk and like food from like restaurants on a daily basis, you're not getting the nutrients that you need. You're not being as healthy as you should be or like aspire to be, you know? Along with the point of like eating outside, I think just being outside also helps like be neutrally fit, if that makes sense. Like you're getting like the amount of vitamin D that you need to be healthy, and getting the right amount of vitamin D lowers the risk of getting depression, which is unfortunately very common in the world right now. But vitamin D does not only come from sunlight, it can come from like really fatty fish or fortified foods such as cereal, bread, eggs, etc.
Basically, fortified foods, for those who don't know, are foods that have nutrients added to them, like
Yeah.
nutrients added to them that aren't normally present. So like vitamins, minerals, or fibers are not manually, but like added to like cereal, for example, that makes it more healthier. And it's a safe way to provide nutrients and like provide like to help someone with micronutrient deficiencies, like for the.
So I think like you know we're talking about like vitamin D and like omega-3 fatty acids and how like that really contrasts our regular diet sometimes, like you know, ramen and boba.
Mhm.
I think this like really like is shown in like different cuisines or like diets as well. Like if you like take like a traditional Japanese diet or like a Mediterranean diet, like versus like a typical Western diet. I'm gonna say like Western because like you know, like you kind of depict it as like, you know, fast food. Like that's how it's depicted in like some places. And like studies have even shown like the risk of depression is like significantly lower in those who have a traditional diet. Because I think especially in a traditional diet, like they're like obviously high in vegetables and fruits, but like really unprocessed food especially. And a lot of them do contain
Mm.
meat and dairy and like not with like really harmful chemicals or like stuff in it.
A lot of the times when I eat like ramen or like processed foods, my mom gets so mad at me, and she's so right because I'm not getting the veggies I need. I'm not getting like um the right amount of dairy that I need. And I think she's so right.
Yeah, it just has so many chemicals in it. Like we were talking about Takis earlier, right? Or like spicy food that like burns like
Mhm.
holes through like the tract. Like it's just because it has such unsafe stuff in it. Like I think like
You don't
regular
even know what's in it, bro.
exactly, yeah. Like you take Nara Smith, like you know how she like makes her own like snacks from scratch? Those are like definitely healthier than what you get in the store. When you get in the store, you don't know like what they like added to make it like last longer, to make like it freezable or like
Preservatives.
yeah, the preservatives in there. Like they can be really harmful. That's why I think like the study was like saying how food just like generally like a traditional diet just help more.
Actually, my
Mhm.
mom like doesn't let me actually buy Bulldog ramen. It's a very famous ramen company because of how unhealthy it is,
Mhm.
and she knows I'll be addicted to it, right? But like just like there are MSG and preservatives in it. That's why she's like always like, if you want to eat a food, you should know what's in it, and like you should know what's going in your body. Like what's going in your body is especially important, right? That's why you like she stresses the importance of eating like more like unprocessed things, a lot of fish, a lot of vegetables, natural probiotics like yogurt. Yogurt's really good for your gut, like right, your gut health and your like health in general. And actually, like when I go eat like traditional Mediterranean food, like at restaurants, you can see how different, how much healthier it is.
Yeah.
Like you can taste how much healthier it is. Like it tastes so
Mhm.
like unprocessed,
Fresh. Yeah.
yeah, and fresh. And like even eating like obviously like even eating a Chinese restaurant, like you eat a Chinese restaurant here, not saying it's unhealthy, like it's definitely a lot like has a lot of health benefits, but some Chinese restaurants add a lot of sauce or sugar to their foods, which is like for example, tomato egg is like a typical Chinese dish. They add ketchup to their sauce, right? not just tomatoes but ketchup to make it a little sweeter. And obviously ketchup's not the healthiest, right? Because they're not making
Yeah.
ketchup from scratch. But like traditional
Mhm.
Mediterranean and Japanese diets, they're so unprocessed, they're so fresh that like they're so much better for your body.
Yeah. Also, like, have you like noticed like things are like locally made? Like, if I were to eat Indian food in India, it's like, do you think that has like better health benefits? Or like,
I
what do you
definitely
guys
think so. You
think?
can like taste the quality too.
You
It
can
is so
taste it.
insanely different. I think also a lot of people, like me and my family, like in India, like me and Divya, like Divya's my sister, we really compare McDonald's here and in India. And I swear in India, it tastes so much better because I don't know what type of chemicals or literal preservatives they put in USA McDonald's,
Yeah.
but it tastes much
Yeah.
nicer, much cleaner in India. It's just, I
Yeah.
can't.
Wait, oh my! I
It
saw
tastes
this
like,
thing. Sorry, go.
no, I had nothing to say.
I saw this thing where this guy accidentally left. I saw multiple things. Okay, one of them was that this guy accidentally left a chicken McNugget in his car. It didn't even melt. I mean, it melted in the sun. And then this other person had chicken McNugget in the cupboard for like a long, long time. People forgot about it. It still was chicken nuggets. It wasn't more. It was like over a year, like over like
That
it
is
was a long
crazy.
duration period. I love chicken nuggets. Okay, I love McDonald's chicken nuggets. I will eat a 20 chicken nugget and be full and content. But like looking at those videos scared me so much because what's in it that it would melt in the sun? Then if you keep it in a cupboard for like a long time, it stays. It looks like it's fresh. Like typically food would rot and mold, right? Because it has a natural bacteria. But why is it fresh in a cupboard after a long period of time? That actually scares me. Because what
Mhm.
am I putting in my body? It's probably so unhealthy for
It's
me.
so risky sometimes eating like from unknown places. You have no idea. Oh my God. Oh my
Because
God.
it's like literally fast food. They're not gonna make it fresh. It's probably
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's hard to say. Like you can, I can. It's hard to even say for a fact that it's real chicken. Like we don't
Yeah.
know that we're putting real chicken in our body. But also with the freshness and the quality thing that you were saying, sorry, Nitya,
Yeah.
like even if you eat like somewhere near the coast and you eat the fish there or seafood there or like whatever, right? It's like so much fresher. Like, it's so
Yeah.
much better. So yeah.
Yeah, what we're talking about. Like, I remember reading this a few years ago. Like, I think I sent this to you guys. This one girl like drank a lot of boba, and like that's pretty normal, right? And boba has tapioca pearls in it, but the boba she was drinking, the store made it rubber tapioca. Like it's still edible, but it got stuck in her stomach. Like if you looked at her X-ray, there were like literal boba pearls like all down. It was so scary because they're probably like stores doing it like right now.
Gongcha. It was Gongcha.
Ugh.
For
Yeah,
sure.
literally, they literally taste like rubber. Okay, it irritates me, but it's just like you don't really know what you're drinking. Like I'm gonna order boba. I'm not expecting rubber pearl, am I? I'm expecting to have some tapioca. You know? I don't know.
Mhm.
I'm not going to know until it's like too late. So I think like the point we're trying to get at is that your nutrition is so important. Like obviously eating junk food, like there's zero problem with it really in moderation. But when it comes to like an unhealthy amount, when it comes to like putting food in your body that obviously has bad chemicals and like rubber pearl, it's just gonna hurt you.
Kind of
Mhm.
off topic, but did you guys ever watch the video in middle school of the guy who ate McDonald's for 100 days in a row?
Supersize me. I was gonna talk about it.
Go talk about it. Go talk about it.
Who's that?
Supersize me. It was this dude, okay, this middle-aged man, and he ate McDonald's everything, okay? Burgers, nuggets, ice cream for literally, was it 100 days?
Yeah, 100 days in a row.
100 days.
That was his goal.
And you can see how
He
his
died like last
mood.
month,
Yeah, he died last month.
May 24th.
Okay, this explains it. But you can see the transformation from day 0 to day 100 probably of his body, his mental health. And he actually had some pretty bad health conditions, okay? And away from Super Size Me, there was a show on Food Network, and this dude would like eat like really big, like if this was the portion, if like it was the portion size was like the size of a regular box of McDonald's fries, okay? He would order like a life-size version of that, and he would eat the whole thing, okay? And this dude, he unfortunately died, bro, because of all the not like,
Yeah.
it wasn't the recommended portion size. And it's so frustrating how like you think it's not gonna harm you, but
Mhm.
it literally did.
Wait, this is like so like true. It's like especially like in America, I would say there's so much weird stuff in fast food here. Like literally the McDonald's, like you were saying, like how it didn't melt, like Alyssa, like how it like stayed like that. You know how scary that is? Like honestly, I think that's why
Oh my
America
God.
is very like considered unhealthy country compared to other countries. Because like what is in our food?
Definitely.
If you go to like France or something, I've heard people say like it's much less processed. I'm like talking about like how McDonald's and like just America in general, it's really like unhealthy, I would say. Like it honestly scares me. And I think like how they like get people, honestly, this is like a kind of like psychological aspect of it, is their color palette. Like you can see In-N-Out and like McDonald's and like all these fast food places, they have such like they have a color palette, right? Obviously, that's very aesthetics. And obviously, like color is just like an interesting thing to look at, especially in diet, I would say.
I think that's why a lot of people like focus on the way their company or like packaging looks. Because if it's inviting, people are gonna buy it, people are gonna eat it, and it's gonna harm them, not the company, the person consuming it.
I think
I
Nitya
think
brings up. Sorry.
no, go ahead, go ahead.
I think Nitya brings up a really good point, right? About how like color palette and like how the way that a company markets something inviting to is really inviting, right? A lot of people don't recognize that actually. Like a lot of people don't think that a color palette but can affect how they perceive things so much, right? Like In-N-Out, like McDonald's bright. When you think of McDonald's, you have that bright red box with the yellow and right. In-N-Out, it's like yellow, orange, and white or something like that, right?
Red.
Red and white.
Yeah.
Like these like when you think of fast food, you can't think of McDonald's in that Five Guys, red and white. And these classic colors of bright
Bam,
red
bam,
and
bam.
yellow.
Like you can really see like they're not boring colors. Like you can take like even like supply chains like Target, right? It's a bright color. And like I don't know why they're changing into some minimalistic brand now, but that's for another discussion. But like for food, right? I think it's really important. Like these fast food places, they like it's not a good idea to serve like beige, like white food looking bland stuff and not to
And
have
Kardashian.
like not to have like a type of like whole like white IKEA looking restaurant either. It's not appealing.
Yeah, definitely. Should we talk about like what different colors like psychologically do to you?
Sure, sure. You want to start out?
Sure, sure, sure. Okay, okay. I can see that orange stimulates appetite and it has an exhilarating effect. Um, and I can see like a lot of fast food chains, like I think Taco Bell has
Yeah,
orange in it,
yeah.
which you know me, I'm a sucker for Taco Bell. So I think like it's really, really like I love Taco Bell.
Wait,
Um,
I was actually at Taco Bell like an hour ago. I was in goddamn Fremont.
we stand Taco Bell. Any other colors, guys?
Oh no, honestly, this all that color stuff. You know how like you were saying like Taco Bell, you associate it with like orange, right? I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
at McDonald's a few days ago too. I
So
was
nutritious.
I'm not. I don't have a good diet, but I ate biryani after that though, so we can't.
Rice, get that rice in, girl.
Homemade. But like literally they gave me this bag, okay? And I think it was something about grandma, okay? But they changed their whole
Oh
color.
my god, the
I was like,
grannies.
what is this? Why am I looking at a pink bag? This is not McDonald's. I was
McDonald's and a pink bag?
Yeah, it was like brown with like pink and like pale yellow stuff. And I was like, what is this?
Wait,
I'm
remember when they
not
collabed with BTS and they had this purple packaging? Did anyone buy it? I want to know.
they bet and we literally drove, but they didn't have it in our
They
location
didn't have
actually.
it? Oh.
No, they didn't. But it's like it's really interesting to see like what colors do, like not only like the type of food, the type of environment, like also the color that you associate with these places. Take like Target, like it's in our location. And like obviously Target, we have that like dart bullet board. I don't know what that is. It's a dart.
Isn't it like
Target.
a Target?
Oh, I lag brain cells. That was really embarrassing for me. But obviously it's red, right? And I don't know why this one Target on location decides to start being brown. I don't know why I seen a brown Target and a brown block. It really annoyed me. Like you are Target. Like I don't know why you're brown. It's like these things. Like they obviously like I don't want to be here anymore. I'm gonna go to the other location. I'm not gonna look them.
It's like it's like the feeling like it's like the normality, the comfort of
Yes,
seeing things that
yes,
you're used
that's
to,
a
right?
much
Yeah.
more eloquent way to put it. I think I was going off on a rant a bit, but like that's exactly what I meant, Alyssa.
But when you talk about McDonald's, right? And you talking about the pink bag with like the yellow, whatever, right? Wait, do you guys notice how yellow is so common in almost every fast food chain around here, right?
Yeah, like a fun. You see,
Like McDonald's, In-N-Out, I'm lagging.
Oh, okay, yeah, but like I think what you're trying to get at, right? Yellow is a really popular color because of what it does to people. Like it actually encourages people to eat quickly and leave. That's why a lot of fast food places use it.
Fast
It's fast
food.
food, literally, right? And it also like
Wow.
obviously yellow is like sunshine, happiness, breakfast food, which is also really popular.
McDonald's breakfast food, their hash browns, pretty good, guys.
I don't know why
Not
those were hyped. Those are not good. Those are really not good. And beef
I love
crispy.
I love McDonald's breakfast.
I think the only thing I eat at McDonald's is their ice cream.
Their fries are
Chicken
pretty
nuggets,
good.
very good.
I'm really unhealthy, but me and my friends one time, we literally, three of us ate 40 nuggets and 2 medium in one sitting.
Get that protein, girl.
Protein. Do you remember the
Protein.
car? The chicken nugget in the car?
Chicken. Baked chicken.
Enjoy.
Anyway, moving on from yellow,
Mhm.
I want to kind of bring up another color before like we move on. Like in the color blue, everyone loves the color blue. So blue for food wise is actually an appetite suppressant. So serving food on a blue plate is actually helpful for people who want to diet. But it's also so it's like kind of like encourages dieting behavior, whatever, right?
I'm pretty
Which is
sure
really
that.
opposite. Yes, sorry.
No, you had a point.
No, but which is like really like it's really interesting how opposite, like how different that is from yellow and orange, which is like you kind of want to eat more kind of thing, like invite you to eat.
I'm pretty sure there's a company called like Blue Foods or something, where like they deliver to your doorstep like healthy ingredients or something. Um, which I think is a total switch up from like what fast food is trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
feel
what
like
isn't DoorDash red? Sorry,
oh, go ahead.
DoorDash is red, right? Like the
Oh,
fast
yeah.
food. Yeah, okay.
Like, you know how Alyssa, you're talking about like color plates, right? There was actually a study done in like 2006 by Brian. I apologize for me butchering the names. Wanskin and cohort Van Ittersson. Yeah, I think so. Where it's like they found that the participants in the study, they like served themselves about 22% more pasta when it was served on a plate with low contrast, so like white pasta on a white plate, compared to like high contrast, like red pasta on a white plate. So it really shows how
Oh my God.
yeah, like it's crazy, right? Like you don't think the color of food really matters, but like obviously visual clues, they like unconsciously influence like eating behavior.
Wait, oh my God. This is so unrelated, but I'm going to talk about like color in this, okay? I was watching an episode of White Collar, which I did talk about in our last episode, and it was like you had to pick between three diamonds, okay? There was a pink diamond, a blue diamond, and a yellow diamond, okay? And Caffrey, the main character, he was wearing a blue tie, a blue shirt. He has blue eyes, okay? So obviously, the first diamond that the lady picks is what? The blue diamond. And like it's so cool to
Oh, because
see.
it's like subconsciously like trying to match.
And
Oh,
later he was like, I kept pointing to my tie. You kept looking into my eyes. So you obviously chose the blue diamond. So I feel like that's the same way like how it works with food, you know? And the example that they produced with the study by Brian and Court.
Wait, but actually, if you think about it, like if any of us go to a five-star restaurant, like a 3-star Michelin-star restaurant, right? And they go like they get fancy food. You're never gonna see like a white pasta on a blue plate or on a red plate. It's aesthetically pleasing, and it's known to be
yeah.
aesthetically pleasing to put pasta on a white plate. Like
Yeah.
you're not gonna see these places use different color plates when you use white because it just looks clean, it looks aesthetic, and it doesn't necessarily invite you to eat. But when things look better, you're gonna want to eat it more, right? You're not gonna want to eat something that looks weird or off-putting. And
Mhm.
when you have colors
Oh,
like
yeah.
contrast, like it kind of looks off-putting because if you imagine like if you have like a carbonara, like a chicken alfredo, like a alfredo or like a fettuccine, right? Like with those white sauce pastas on a blue plate, doesn't that look kind of weird? Like you look at it, you'd be like, "What the heck is this?"
Jail food is what I think about.
And like this like leads me to think, if you think an Inside Out, okay, this is a Pixar movie, and like in it there's like little characters, right? Like disgust is the color green. And like that's obviously for a reason, right? Like because everyone associates green with like disgust, basically like food like that is disgusting, like vegetables.
Broccoli.
Yeah, yeah. It's like interesting to see. Like we're talking about like colors that are appetizing. I think green is definitely one that is not.
Yeah, it's like you associate different colors with different emotions. Same thing when it's using Inside Out. So like same thing with like different emotions. If a food, like if you we were saying with yellow, right? Yellow reminds you of sunshine. Sunshine reminds people of being happy. Happy, being more happy, you're gonna eat more of that food kind of thing. Like it's all like
Yeah,
kind of
it's all
circle.
connected. Yeah.
Happy.
And it's literally like unconscious. Like you don't even realize it. That's what's like so crazy to me.
Wait, yeah, I didn't even think about that until like we're having this conversation right now.
I
Like
think
who
that's
would have
why,
thought? Now I know.
yeah, I think that's a lot of why brands have unique colors associated to them. Specifically. Like I
Mhm.
think when you think Chipotle, you think brown, you know?
Wait, you know what's really weird about the green thing, right? Like green is definitely off-putting. Like when I see something green, I'm typically not gonna look that great. We talk about Wingstop earlier, right? Wingstop's color is green, which is so surprising because I'm still eating that. I'm still eating that chicken up. Anyway,
I think it's because it's chicken. It's like not
yeah. also
Yeah.
like how it's advertised and marketed. That's also
Yeah.
important.
Exactly.
Mm.
I think that's like really interesting, right? I think like our discussion today, like on nutrition and like obviously exercise, how it affects physical and mental health, and also the psychology behind like these decisions regarding that. It was really interesting to talk about.
So we hope you guys really got to learn a lot and we hope you enjoyed the episode. Make sure to follow us on all of our socials, Instagram, Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, subscribe to our YouTube, and Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
It's all at Psych or Shike. Only on Instagram, there's a double S at the beginning. And if you wanna go to our Instagram, there's a link tree to find all the links. So you can follow us on all and support us. We appreciate it. And yeah, bye.
Bye.
Bye.